Ana Kasparian is getting closer and closer to being a full blown MAGA girl. Yeah, it's a good one. She's talking to Jillian Michaels on her new podcast, and they kind of talk about the Trump and they kind of just discuss the Trump Kamala debate. This is a fun one, guys. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my personal channel, which is linked in the description, and like this video, and let's get into it. But by the way, guys, the reason why I say Anna's getting closer and closer to being a MAGA gal is because she finds herself defending Trump. Well, she's not fully defending Trump, but you'll see what I mean.
I don't know if Trump really believes that Haitian migrants are eating dogs and cats, or if he's just doing this sick, like, I don't know. Like, a
I
lot of
think
people
he
think he's doing it on
does.
purpose. Like, he knows that it's not true and he's spreading it to spread fear. And, like, I don't know. I don't know.
Fear, there
Guys, I'm curious. Do you think it's true? Because I've seen reports and videos of saying it definitely happened in Ohio. So I don't know. Let me know what you think.
are killing. They are killing and raping kids and women and taking over apartment buildings. I mean, they're beating up cops. Why can't you go to the stuff that's
Well,
real?
that's the thing. I mean,
There's real problems with illegal immigration.
what's so frustrating about the way people like Trump talk about immigration is that when real issues arise and you are not at all in favor of some of the things that Trump has said, it's impossible to bring up the real issues because people are now conditioned to think, oh, you're saying something negative about migrants.
Right.
So that means you're now a Trumper. That means you're against immigration. No, no, no. There is obviously a problem when any community sees a big influx of people.
So this is what I'm saying because it's very like against the liberal mentality to call out the issues with immigration. You know, liberals like to pretend that importing an entire other culture to our border and into our country, they refuse to say that it could have any consequences at all. They just completely turn a blind eye. And I really do think immigration is like a top reason why there's a lot of people who were Democrats that come to or become Republicans because they're sick of being gaslit when they have these immigrants imported into their communities and they really see the consequences. Oh yeah, they're feeling it and they're getting pissed and they get red pilled. So that's what's happening. Also, I feel like probably the economy and the pushing the gay agenda onto our kids via the school systems. Yeah, I mean, there's many reasons why you should never be a Democrat.
And doesn't have the resources to withstand like a huge population increase,
You
right?
can't. That who's coming in? They're chanting "Death to America."
Yeah, why are we importing people that say death to America? Let me know.
Like, okay,
I just think
come
I
on.
I just think yeah. I mean,
How about that?
Biden
Just stay there.
Biden did not have control. Like he didn't have control of the immigration system. He didn't. Like there's a loophole. The human smugglers figured out what the loophole was and were able to smuggle more and more people in. I mean, in
Right.
December alone, 300,000 people came into the country. That's a lot of people. And we don't have enough judges to adjudicate all of these asylum claims. It's been a disaster. And
Right.
like, what irritates me about the whole situation is Biden neglected it until it became a political liability. Then he calls on Congress to pass legislation. Democrats and Republicans did come together and had a bipartisan.
See, thank you, Anna, for criticizing the Biden administration. Thank you. Having some common sense. See, there are points of agreement that we can have with so called progressives, but she's really, I mean, she's really on her way to leaving the left. I mean, she's been saying it. She just said it again. She's getting a ton of flack from the Young Turks audience saying that Chink should fire her for her criticism of liberals and for actually having a mind of her own. God forbid.
Immigration bill. But Trump wanted to run on immigration, so he got the Republicans to squash it, even though Republicans got everything they wanted in that
Did
bill.
they?
They did,
Okay.
yes.
Well, here's the thing. I
Because,
knew he did that for sure.
yeah,
And I would have handled it obviously different. If I was him, I would have spun it as, well, thank God they did something. Too little, too late. We still
yeah,
have 15 million people here. How are we going to figure out what to do? And
right.
there's so many, like, we don't have to talk about dogs and cats. You've got problems.
He put,
Like, you open yourself up to this.
yeah, it's so dumb. And he put his political aspirations before what's best for the country. And so, like, we've been pretty critical of the Democratic side, but the reason why I find myself politically homeless is because I look at what Trump's up to and I look at the way they talk about people. the way, Trump divides people with his rhetoric and his actions,
I know.
the fact that he's so selfish that he put his political career before
This is where I'm saying like her liberal stuff does come out.
before the best interests of the American people with the immigration bill. All of that stuff really bothers me.
You're right. Me too. That's why I can't. It's so tough because a lot of people watching, they love it.
It's really not tough.
Um, I, I, you know,
And it's their right to.
it's their right
know?
to. But I see all of these flaws, and I see all the flaws on the other side, and I kind of just don't understand how we're like. Why do you go dogs and cats when you've got real?
Yeah.
Why do you
Well, if it's really happening, then talk about it. I'm a cat person.
not say yes, do it? You can still go after the fact that they let it all go. Why they let it go? Too little, too late. Still a ton of work needs to be done. Like you still have so much.
Right.
There's so much there. I feel like I can do this for you. I do lunges for a living. Like,
I know. I know.
why, Mama?
I kind of feel like Trump has I feel like there's an element of laziness to it, right? It's easier to just demagogue or play dirty tricks to win rather than actually doing, strategizing. Because I think you can be I know this sounds laughable, but I do genuinely believe you can be an honest politician who puts the country first and still win, but you just have to take the time to strategize. I mean, I'll give you an example. I mean, he did lose that debate against Kamala Harris. And
I
it's not
know.
because Kamala Harris is like some debating genius. It's because Trump didn't prepare. He underestimated her. He didn't prepare. I mean, a moment that really stood out to me, no one else cared about this moment, but I did because I know what Biden did following Trump. Kamala Harris attacked Trump's tariffs. And Trump just looked down and looked grumpy and had no rebuttal. And I was just like, bro, Biden took your
You kept
tariffs.
them, right?
He not only kept them, he expanded them.
He did.
He expanded them. So Biden doubled down on the tariffs. If Trump had done the work, if he had prepared for the debate, and if he hadn't underestimated his opponent, he would have been prepared with that. And he just wasn't. And that
Yes.
laziness really bothers me because it's like you want to run the country. What do you want to run the country for? For your own benefit, or because you actually want to work on behalf of the American people as their leader, as their public servant?
But even speaking of that debate, is the affidavit even real?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, the guy from ABC and the
Oh,
secretly and the thing, is that even real? You guys
I
said
haven't
no.
seen.
Or
I
did
haven't
you see?
seen any evidence.
And then Megyn Kelly said, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
But this is my point. Like, how do you guys
Yeah.
get to the bottom? Because now I just won't even open my mouth until I go to your channel. I wait and see if you comment on it. And I know you guys will have done the work on it.
Yeah.
But how are you getting to the truth of, I mean, I have a list of stuff. Oh my God, I fell for this one.
Mm-hmm.
The second shooter the Ralph guy, or the second
yes, yes,
attempted
yes.
shooter.
Yes, the would-be assassin.
The would-be
Mm.
assassin. Okay, it went around that he was in a BlackRock commercial. And I am such an ass.
All right, I'm going to cut it off there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching.